Welcome back. And to introduce our Puja Swamiji, he specializes in the world of Advaita Vedanta. And the most important thing about Advaita Vedanta is that there's no I. There's only the Paramatman. The I of each one of us that we all bandy around doesn't exist. So how then will I introduce him? It's a problem. So I thought about it, and all I can say is that he was a hero amongst the kids around in a place called Virivakkam in Chennai. And then he went on to become interested in Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna and Sharada Devi. Joined the order in Chennai. And then, of course, now he's a monk who's part of the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Moral and Spiritual Education. And he's going to give a very interesting talk on Vedantic secrets for actionizing Vivekananda ideals. More importantly, let me also tell you, he is a postgraduate in chemistry. Okay, on that note, we all warmly welcome Pujya Srimad Swami Ishtanathanandaji Maharaj. Maharaj, please come. The stage is all yours for the next 18 minutes.
Namaskar to all of you. Well, I shall begin with a question. Very interesting question. This was put to Swami Vivekananda by one of his disciples, Ajit Singh Raja of K3, during his wandering days. The question is very interesting. What is life? We are living the life, but we don't have the understanding of what is life. Swami Vivekananda gave a very succinct reply, very penetrating reply. He said, life is the unfoldment and development of a being and the circumstances trying to press it down. Isn't it? So, little bit elaborating on that, life is a challenge. Isn't it? Life is a challenge. So, what we want to become in life depends largely upon our personal and individual acceptance of the challenge. There is no limit for a human being as to what he has to become. Then you may think, is it that? What about the circumstances in life? One of our ancient scriptures says that Kritam loke purusho abhijayate. A man is born in the world of his own making. Not only is born of his own making, he also remakes it every time, because what we think and what we do remakes our circumstances. We are able to change our circumstances. So we are the makers and the unmakers of our own destiny, isn't it? So circumstances can be changed. Now, what we are going to become in life depends largely on the strength what we have individually speaking. So the stronger we are, the more we will be able to rest out of life. So the secret is the strength we have. Swami Vivekananda, and my reflection is upon this Vedantic secrets is the strength. And Swami Vivekananda and Vedanta also speak the same language. The central message of Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic message is strength. Strength is life, weakness is death. According to Swami Vivekananda, coming to Vedanta does not mean to wail and weep, to fear about the natural force, to fear about the forces against us, but it is to manifest the inherent strength, the inherent might we have to face any situations of life. Now let me paraphrase some of the Swamiji's quotations on Vedanta. They are very illuminating. Swami Vivekananda says, if there is one word in the Upanishads that comes in every page and which comes like a bomb and throws a bombshell, that one word is what is called as abhihi, fearlessness, strength. According to Swami Vivekananda, it is weakness that is cause of all the miseries of the world. We lie, we do crimes, we steal, everything we do with unholy things, because Swami Vivekananda says we are weak. It's the same idea of Vedantic. It's a Vedantic idea. So, one, as I said, if you want to summarize the teachings of Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic idea is what is called as strength in ourselves. According to Swami Vivekananda, a very often quoted quotation is, strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is felicity, weakness is misery. So according to Swami Vivekananda, weakness is a constant strain and misery. Now, this is about Upanishad. Now, coming to another Vedantic scripture, broadly speaking, it also comes to Vedantic scripture, and many of you know that. It is Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a opening verse, the second chapter, which speaks about the strength, and Swami Vivekananda liked that verse very much. The verse goes like, Klaibhyam masma ghama partha naitatva ipapadyate Kshudram hridaya dhaurbalyam tyaktvodishta parantapa. So this is a verse, and this is a verse occurring on the battlefield. Arjuna has come into the battlefront. He sees the Kauravas, he sees his own relationships. Suddenly he was overtaken by emotions overwhelms him, sentiments overwhelms him. His intellect gets clouded, and he speaks pseudo-philosophy, and he says, renunciation is better than fighting against my own kith and kins. But this has not come out of his true knowledge. Weakness has grabbed him. Sri Krishna understood that, and he says, Klaibhyam ma smaghama partha, O Partha, O Arjuna, do not become a prey. Do not become a prey to Klaibhyam. Klaibhyam means chicken-hearted. Swami Vivekananda says, faint-heartedness. Klaibhyam ma smaghama partha, na etat tvayi upapadyate. It does not befit you, he says. You are a noble, great warrior. This type of weakness coming at this point of time does not befit you. And this is a beautiful educational maximum for the teachers, the students, and for everyone, because every one of us has got infinite good qualities in us. It is our, if you are manifesting bad qualities, it is below our dignity. So we are responsible to manifest the good qualities. That is why he says, it does not befit you. Then he says, Kshudram hridaya dhaurbalyam, because that mean-heartedness of afraid of everything, tyaktva and uttishta bharata, climb, get up and fight. That is what Sri Krishna said to Arjuna. Now, Swami Vivekananda says, we have wept long enough, no more weeping, but stand up on your feet and be men. Same idea. So what Sri Krishna said, Swami Vivekananda says the same thing. We are weeping. We have given a lot of reasons for our not achieving what we want in goal of life. Weeping is not literally weeping. We put a lot of reasons, justify our failures. It's all because of our weakness. So to derive the maximum strength, maximum benefit out of life, what is required is strength in life. We need strength. Not that if you have strength, you will not have problems. Definitely you will have problems. But you will be able to face all the challenges of problem and enrich yourself with that experience, and you will try to progress better and better. You will not get depressed. Your life will become more happier. Your life become more fulfilled, irrespective of the result of what you do. So that's one thing when you have strength. So, and if you ask me a question, where does this strength come from? Where does I get this strength? Swami Vivekananda says, and he says, Vedanta says, he says, all strength and succor is already within you. The infinite life is within every one of us. He says, let the dead past bury its dead, he says. You see, we are all afraid that there are so many evil thoughts in me, there are so many bad thoughts in me, so they are going to come like tigers and sprang upon me. But Swami Vivekananda says, also please believe that there are so many holy thoughts inside every one of us, and they are all ready, waiting like to defend us, to protect us like 100,000 angels. So you see what an inspiring message. So we all have a gold mine of treasure in our backyard, and the only thing what we have to do is to dig out and bring out the gold. Okay, fine. The first question about this is, are we determined to have the strength? Do we want the strength really to have? If you want, you will get it. But merely verbally pronouncing it, but it will not help. Unless your heart and the head is equally persuaded, only then you will have a determined will. And this, when you get that determination, then that itself is a sign of attaining the strength. Now coming to strength, there are three different types of strength. One is called as Deha Balam, the other is called as the Buddhi Balam, and this is Atma Balam. Why? Because we human being is a complex human being. We have got a gross body, we have got a subtle body, and we have got the Atman, the core, Atman, the conscious. We are all conscious entity, the consciousness, which is a Chaitanya, from which all the powers, it throws the power to the body and the mind. So when it comes to body, it is called Deha Bala, even it's called Buddhi, its mind is called Buddhi Bala, and then there is the Atman, which is the reservoir of all the powers, that is called as the Atma Bala. Okay. Now, when you develop a strength, then it has to be an all-round development, because otherwise it will not percolate the entire being. But when we speak about the strength, the first question that comes to our mind is what is called as physical strength. So a physically weak man tend to absorb more physical weakness. It's of course not a very absolute rule, but generally if you are very physically weak, then you will be you will have weakness in all spheres of life generally. That is why, thinking of this, our great ancient Hindu seers have said, Sharira Madhyam Khaludharma Sadhanam. The primary instrument is body, which has to be taken care of to carry out all the dharmas, to carry out all the sadhanas. Coming back to Swami Vivekananda, if you equate it, Swami Vivekananda said, what our country wants is muscles of iron and nerves of steel, and in that we need to have a gigantic will like a thunderbolt. That is what Swami Vivekananda wanted. You can see the equation, you can see the correlations between Swami Vivekananda and Vedanta. Now, how to cultivate the strength. Now, there are two different, first when we speak about physical strength, there are two aspects to it. One is the negative aspect and the positive aspect. The negative aspect is we need to avoid certain things which are draining our physical strength. What are the things that are draining our physical strength? First, we have to put a full stop for all those things. So these are all, you will be knowing it, but I am just enumerating it. Irregular and disorganized way of living. It's one of the things which drains your energy. And then want of nourishing food, idling about and without any occupation, illness and want of proper rest, immoral habits, use of intoxicant drinks and drugs, unhealthy surroundings, and mental disquiet and turmoil, and overload of work, and also useless work. So for all these things, we need to have self-control. And only a man who has got this self-control will be able to have the world under his control. And if you examine the self-control on examination, you will find that not always we can see that the circumstances keeps changing. You cannot avoid circumstances not to change. Circumstances will change, but it is also not necessary for us to always change the circumstances. But our duty is to understand the circumstances and work with it. That is what is very important. Now, this is the negative aspect. The positive aspect of developing the physical strength is have a good habits, moral habits, and proper diet, physical exercise, and all these things will help us to develop good physical strength. To put it very simply, we should not become like a soft butter dolls, but we should become like what Swamiji called as muscles of iron and nerves of steel. That's the physical strength. Coming to the mental strength, when I say strength, if you think only it is physical strength, then you will create a lot of problems, and that's what happening in the society nowadays. So when you say physical strength, it only advocates to, it cannot advocate to universal cultivation because it's only physical. But for example, an animal rhinoceros has got great strength. And if a man has got a strength like a rhinoceros, what is the use of that? Until and unless that physical strength is guided and controlled, and also guided and controlled and directed by a strong mind, he cannot give any new meaning to his life. So that's very important. So now, and you see, the mentally strong people are always more effective than the physically strong people. That we have a lot of examples in our history of the world and history of India. A man with no mental strength, in whatever position you put him, he will just lead a vegetating life. But if you see a man with a mental strength, if you put anywhere, he will count everything good. So he will be able to battle the life, the adversities of life, and he will come out more courageously, more heroically, everything, and he is never afraid. So the character of that man will be like, in victory, he will be very humble and generous, because the victory should not go into his head. So in victory, he will be very humble and generous. And defeat, if you see, he will be very introspective and also very optimistic. And in the trials, he will be very dexterous and also very alert. So his life, on the whole, is going to manifest a winning quality. And the strength of the mind is very essential, because that is the one which distinguishes the human being from the animal. And if you want to live a life of a human being, and if you feel that it's worth living a life of human being, then you have to have a strong mind. Now, how to cultivate the mental strength? Again, the same thing, the negative and the positive aspect. The negative aspect is how to stop the drainage of this mental energy. And we are very careful in spending our money, but we are not very careful in spending our thoughts. There is a lot of thought dissipation, thought diarrhea is there. So now how to handle over it? So there are certain things which again, I think you all know that. One is indiscriminate reading. Reading consists of all WhatsApp reading, everything, all the Twitter, everything comes, because nowadays nobody reads books. So all these things comes. Indiscriminate reading, purposeless controversy. We end up in a lot of purposeless controversy and pointless talking. It's all a pointless talking. Then inquisitive in others' affairs. What is happening to him? Inquisitive in others' affairs, finding fault with others. These are all will drain our mental energy. Unknowingly, we are doing all those things. Finding fault with others, over-ambitious, and egoistic concern for the perfection in others. I am not perfect, but I am very egoistic to see how much he is perfect. So egoistic concern. So feeling that I am greater than him. Then other things you all know: lust, anger, jealousy, grudging, all these things, daydreaming. Everything will drain our mental energy. And nowadays you see there is called what is called a psychosomatic. Psyche is the mind, soma is the body, I think. So whatever you have, the mental problems, it will get into your body, and then you have all the psychosomatic problems. Most of the problems are psychosomatic. And but we have very safe and simple methods, effective methods to train our mind to have a very effective mind husbandry. Now, of course, in journey of life, there will be conflicts with ourselves, there will be conflicts with surroundings, everything happens. And because of the conflicts with ourselves and because of conflicts with the environment, we develop wrong emotions in ourselves, and these wrong emotions will have wrong movements of life, and that is what is called as the garbage. So you all know that what happens if you have your garbage in your house 2, 4, 3 days or a week, what happens, how it smells. But we are not very much worried about the garbage that is lying in our mind. It is lying there for years together. So we need to introspect our habits. We need to detect the wrong habits and try to correct it. Now again, Vedanta helps us, yoga helps us. We have Patanjali, the first psychologist, who says there are 4 simple disciplines which can help you to remove this mental drainage. He says friendliness towards happy people, compassion towards the miserable, delight in the good, and indifferent to evil. Friendliness towards happy. What happens is when you are friendliness towards happy people, you avoid becoming jealous, and also you avoid becoming hatred. That is one thing. And then compassion to the miserable people, then your heart expands. You become pure, you become more pure. And then delight in the good. When you see something good, you delight in that. That good tendencies will just, samskaras will get created in the mind, and you will be motivated to do more good again. And then indifference to evil is, it is a safe method to avoid the evils from the society to getting into you, because we haven't got enough strength to avoid it. So if you are going to be indifferent to evil, then it's a method to avoid evils. Now, so unless and until you have unless and until you take care of your mental health, you will not be able to become strong. So mental health is very important, and also you need to have a very controlled mind. So it's like you have to have a strong mind, and also you have to have a controlled mind, and this together put, it's what is called as a mental health. And Swami Vivekananda says you have to feed your mind with the higher, noblest thoughts. When should it begin? It should begin it from the childhood. So you have to give to the mind the noblest, the highest, and the purest thoughts. Swami Vivekananda's words, he says, what we need is man-making, character-making, life-building, assimilation of ideas. So that idea, take up any 5 ideas, that should become a part and parcel of your life. Then it has to become your own character, and then that man will become very strong. So these are some of the ideas how to develop your mental strength. And now Deha Balam, Buddhi Balam, and the last is what is called as the spiritual strength. Now this strength is more superior towards the mental and the physical strength, because as I said, this is the core of our being, the Atman, the consciousness, from which is the reservoir of all the power and glory, and from here all the strength comes out. And leading a spiritual life is a conduit, is a channel to express this power. That's why the Upanishad says, Nayam Atma Balahinene Labhyaha. This Atman cannot be attained by the weak people. And once you attain to that level, where the spiritual seekers have attained to that, you get a different type of strength. And that the Upanishad again says that Atmana Vindate Viryam, you get ultimate strength. And that's what we have seen in the people of great spiritual realized people. And so according to Swami Vivekananda, he sums up all the Upanishads, all the Vedantic things, and says that true spirituality is equal to strength, and true strength is equal to spirituality. So that's about the spiritual strength. I'll just end up with a very beautiful prayer. It comes in Shukla Yajurveda Samhita, and this is also even quoted by Swami Vivekananda in one of his letters. It says, Viryamasi Viryam Mahidehi, O Lord, you are the embodiment of energy, please grant us the energy. Balamasi Bhalam Mayidehi, O you are the embodiment of strength, please give us the strength. Ojo Mayidehi, you are the endowment of great valor, spiritual things, please make us spiritual. And Sahosi Saho Mahidehi, you are the embodiment of fortitude, please bless us with a lot of endurance. So, just a practical thing at the last. Every one of us should practice this when we get up in the morning and we go before to the night sleep. Let us practice this. This is being told by our sages, auto suggestions to our mind. It says, day by day, I am getting better and better in every way by your grace. Oh Lord, lead me and guide me at every step. Thank you very much for patient listening.
Thank you, Puja Maharaj. It was really enlightening to see that Vedanta has all the secrets which Vivekananda was trying to actionize himself, and essentially we should do actionizing to bring the Vivekananda ideals out from within us. So, like he said, Atmana vindate viryam, nayam atma balahonena labhyaha. The people cannot get it if they are weak. And if you are that, you bring the best out of you. It's a very interesting thing. It's like the lower limit, upper limit. You have to cross the lower limit in order to hit the upper limit. And once you do that, everything comes out in a very nice way. So, the Vedantic secrets, which Vivekananda has been talking about in almost all his lectures. He only spoke Vedanta in the West, right? Is something which is very critical for all of us to understand. I think we should all apply ourselves to it. And more importantly, on that note, we'd like to say, Vivekananda Janoththana Trust, thanks. Amma Institutions, thanks. Swami Ishtanathanandaji for having come here and shared his Vedantic secrets, which he has understood, of actionizing Vivekananda ideals. Thank you so much, Maharaj. So may I now request Pujya Swami Brahmachari Atman Nanda Amritaji to come and honor, to garland the Swamiji. To honor the Swamiji with the shawl. I request Professor Shekhar Babu to give the sapling of love and affection from Amrita University to Puja Swamiji. And then, of course, on behalf of our trust and Amrita Institutions, I'd like to give Swamiji a small dry fruit basket.